Welcome back, everyone, to another episode in the Disassembly series. Really excited for this one today. So, Lynch Northwest dropped their titanium scales for the Bodacious, Spyderco Bodacious, and he calls it the Samurai pattern. And the color I got, the finish, is Dark Abyss. These dropped the week of July 29th, 2024. And they sold out within, I think, a day or two, possibly. But let me go ahead and pop these open. Forgot to turn on my light. Here we go. So let's see. Oh, you don't need to cut them. They come right out, actually. Well, one of them did. This one's sealed. Yeah, that one's sealed. All right. So I posted about my first impressions on the Bodacious probably a couple weeks ago. Well, shortly after it was released, I picked one up. And yeah, these are the scales right here. So it's kind of cool. They do look like sword slashing graphics with the samurai sword. So definitely it does make sense how these are called samurai. So I really like these. And I got the kit, so it comes with the scales as well as a matching finish Lynch deep carry pocket clip. So that's the pocket clip. And then also included black hardware for the screws. So right there. All right, so I'm gonna do the disassembly and reassembly in time lapse, but I will call out any type of challenges in terms of, either the disassembly portion or the reassembly portion. But yeah, so again, I'm replacing the scales on the Spyderco Bodacious with Lynch Northwest titanium scales and his Lynch clip. All right, well, stay tuned. All right, well, welcome back. So got everything taken apart. The only thing I will call out that was a bit challenging is they used Loctite, I believe, on the pivot screw of the clip side. So if it's right hand carry, then the clip side's on this side of the scale. And this took a little bit of muscling to get off. And then afterwards, I had to use this divot tool I have for golf and popped out this way. Popped out the pivot right here. And you can see it is D-shaped on one side. Or is it on both? I'm gonna do a close-up and see. No, just one side. And you can tell by the liner if it is or not. Yeah, so that way, that one has a D shape, whereas this one does not. Yep, okay. So the D shape does go on the clip side if you're a right-hand carry, the clip side liner. All right, so I won't be needing these scales anymore. Get to retire those for now. I don't need the pocket clip or the clip screws, so I'm gonna retire, put this away. But let's see. So if you want to take a close up on the inside of these scales, these are the stock scales, black G10, smooth compared to their other standard G10 scales, like the military, the PM2. Inside, these are where the liners fit. Let's kind of give you a close personal look at that. Let's talk about some parts. So this is the liner with the compression lock. I guess this is the lock side liner when you think about it. Yeah. This will go on this scale right here. All right. And then the other one should go here. You know what? You might be able to remove the liner. So I believe this is linerness because as you can tell on this, well, let's take a look at the stock scale. So the stock scale allows the cutout for the liner, which fits in flush. However, you can tell by the thicknesses of these that that portion is a cutout for the liner. This is not. And so I will not be replacing these with the liner. So I do need to pop this one out if I can. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna resort to my power drill chuck. One moment. There's probably a better way to do this, or a different way to do it, not necessarily better. But I just tighten up the chuck right here, and then I'm gonna kind of just wedge my way out, wedge the liner out from the blade stop pin. Oh, and there it is, pops right off. So you can see it's still on the chuck right there. So we won't be needing that liner. And this piece looks to be symmetrical on both sides, so I don't think it matters which end it goes to what side of the scale. You got your washers. So the pivot screw is T10. The body screws are T8, which is 2 of them on each side. And then the pocket clip screws are T6. And here's that back spacer right here. I think that's about it. All right, so I'm gonna go and replace everything, reassemble it. I may use, I'll see how the black clip screws look because the rest of the hardware screws are all satin. So I don't know, I'll see how it turns out, but stay tuned and I will start the reassembly. All right, so I've got everything pieced back together, minus the pocket clip, and I haven't tightened up the pivot yet, so it is off-centered. Action seems a bit stiff, so it might just take some time to break in. Yeah. Well, it's swinging shut right now. Let's see what the blade plate's like. Very minimal. I'm wondering, should I tighten it or not? Let's give it a shot and see what that's like. Blade plate is practically gone. And centering is better, still off though. Yeah, I think it's just gonna take some breaking in. Touch more. Let's see. Centering is still off. Yeah, let's see if I can use the old bend the scales trick. I don't know if any of you have ever done that, but I have actually, from experience, this actually helps center some knives. that's better. I don't really get too caught up about the centering as long as it doesn't rub against the scales. So to each their own, but that looks good to me actually. Let's see. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay. So I'm torn right now. Should I use the satin screws or the black ones that Lynch provided me? I feel like the satin ones would match, especially with the hardware. So I think I'm gonna go with the satin ones. Drop it in a comment if you think I should have went with the black. But I personally, I feel like there's contrast between the satin hardware already, so you might as well just keep it all the same. Now, if I went and got some titanium, black titanium hardware, then I would probably swap it to the black pocket clip screws. There was no challenges putting them back together. So, oops, it was fairly straightforward. Yeah, no challenges whatsoever. Just make sure you put the liner on the show side before you throw on the scale, because even when I took it apart, that's how it came apart, is that the scale came off first before the liner, because the liner is kind of wedged into the stop pin, the blade stop. Try to get this one in. I have a habit of making, for these types of, well, actually, most clip screws. Oh man, are you kidding me? Yeah, I have a habit of putting all the screws in first, then lining up to the pocket clip screw holes, and then tightening it all up. It's just something I've always done. Let me know in the comments if you've got one of these as well. They had a bunch of different colors. They had I think I want to say bee blasted, sand blasted, gold anodized, bronze anodized. They had, they had a blue one, Mystic Blue, I think they called it. It looked really nice. That was the first one to go. But let's see. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that. I think these are slightly different. I'm just gonna take one out, take a look. So it still looks like a T6, but thicknesses. Let me just test it out real quick. Oh man. Yeah, it doesn't actually fit very well. Let's see. Okay, so the block ones definitely fit, the ones I came with. But I fear the stock pocket clip screws are actually, the diameter of the screw is actually larger. And yeah, I believe wait, yep. So as soon as it gets to that point, it starts tightening up, and I don't want to strip anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the new black hardware for the clip screws. Let's take those out. Okay, back to the drawing board of putting all these clip screws in. one. Very excited to have these. Now, in my opinion, they're a little costly. They're $195, and it comes with the titanium scales and the pocket clip, and they actually included a lanyard, which I don't personally use, but you know, if you're a lanyard guy, that's an extra part that they include. Oh, come on. Yeah, $195 for the set. It's basically the scale pocket clip kit. I think that's it's high, but then again, a lot of OEM. Oh, come on, it's magnetized. A lot of OEM titanium scales are around $200. So if you look at Hinderer, has his OEM titanium scales, and it's just one scale, though the other side's already titanium, and that's $200. I mean, I believe some other ones have already came out with titanium scales as well. And truly apologize for those who are watching me struggle trying to get this pocket clip screw in, but oh man, you gotta be kidding me. All right, I'm doing one at a time. Simple as that. Let's do the middle first. Why does it keep popping out? Gosh, I've killed like a couple minutes of this video just by trying to get these pocket clip screws to stay. I haven't seen any other retailers pop up with aftermarket pocket clips. Aftermarket titanium scales for this yet. So when I saw Lynch release his newsletter, I went and made sure I picked one up. Oh yeah, these are magnetized, and that's proving to be a pain in the ass. Absolute pain in the butt. Okay, well, hopefully I can get some traction now. If you withstood this atrocious attempt at trying to put in the pocket clip, I appreciate you. Okay. One thing I've noticed about Lynch clips is that if you don't have good tools, you have a chance of stripping or at least damaging your tool bits. Especially for the side ones, they go in at an angle, right? So you're screwing in at an angle, and I don't know how much damage and wear it might have on the tips, the sides of the tool bits. But I've had some cheaper ones, and I have noticed that it does wear it out. So something to keep in mind about Lynch clips. Well, some models of the Lynch clips, some won't have that same impact. But all right, so that's in. Pocket screws are in. Yeah, actually this looks clean. So really appreciate you tuning in and like sticking through, especially with my struggles with the pocket clip. Thank you so much for that. And if you just happen to have skipped it, I don't blame you. I probably would have done the same. Anywho, here's the finished product. It does look good. I got the blade play out. It's not moving, solid. Action needs to be broken in though. Centering, slightly off centered, but I'm okay with that. It's got a nice heft to it. Yeah, it's not I wouldn't say it's heavy. I mean, I'm curious. I wonder what the total weight is now. So let's take a look. I don't recall measuring beforehand, so poo-poo on me, but you can just probably look online. Slightly over 5 ounces. I think that's just right in my wheelhouse in terms of my preferences, but yeah. All right, again, really appreciate you tuning in. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. Let me know, drop any comments, any questions you may have. And as always, thank you and stay frosty.